So for the final time today here at Wilton Mill, we're down on the demi-grid ahead of the DRS125 Grand Prix. Again, 22 drivers have qualified for this. Starting from pole position is our defending champion Sam Faulkner. We're going to find out now. Sam hasn't had it all his own way today. The level of competition here at Wilton Mill is very strong indeed. We'll come and have a chat with Sam around his #1 plate kart. So Sam, it's been a tricky day. You're on pole, but it certainly hasn't been a walk in the park, has it?
No, to be fair, we've just had a few decent results. But I think a lot of people around us have had one bad race or a DNF, or I think I've had a 5th, a 6th and a 1st. So average results ended up, because of people have had nightmares, ended up on pole. Nice.
I mean, yeah, no, very nice indeed. But I mean, that signifies that you're not going to have it all your own way in this final. And you're looking around, and there's Harry Barlow across the road from you on the outside of the front row, coming back into the championship. But it's not just Harry. There's a lot of other drivers. Because many people have had a problem, some of the really quick drivers are a little bit further back. Do you think that gives you a chance to maybe squeeze away?
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. Yesterday was a bit of a whitewash really, with the rain and the track not being brilliant. So the kart doesn't feel amazing. So hopefully it'll be a good race. I think Rich will be up pretty soon, because he's had a few terrible heats. But he'll be up the front in no time, I think. So should be a good race, I think. Excellent.
Well, we're certainly hoping so. Thank you very much, Sam. Now starting alongside, just behind Sam, Daniel Walden. And Daniel sitting and waiting. Daniel, it's been a hectic day for you. There's been some really good results, some very hard racing as well. How are you feeling going into the Grand Prix itself?
Yeah, hopefully we get some good luck and see how it goes.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Daniel. And we'll move down to the next round. The leading Grand Master in on the grid, Paul Ozan. Now, Paul has been battling up at the front all the way through, but again has had one of those days where he hasn't quite gone all Paul's way. But we're up at the front of the grid, row 3 for the final. Pumped and ready to go?
Yeah, hopefully it should be okay. Yeah.
Now, I mean, if you get the support from your family that you were giving, I think both children were racing in the mums, dads and associated others last night. I think I've ever seen somebody very vocal support. Obviously that helps push you on having them here and having a lot of people supporting you.
Absolutely. I mean, my family, having them with me, it just means everything, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to be positioned to do this for forever. I've enjoyed the year I'm having so far after a long break, as you know. So yeah, it's going to be maybe their turn in future, and I think they're showing the signs that they're going to be competitive, and certainly are. And I think with a bit of hopeful guidance, we can get them on the grid at some point. Yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to have a couple more Ozans to contend with in the months and years to come. Ty Stansfield is the next driver on this side of the grid. He'll be starting 7th, and again, Ty has had an interesting day. He's been very quick in times, but again, fortune has not always smiled on him. Ty, very quick word before you go out. How are you feeling before this next one?
Well, obviously I'm looking to go forwards, trying to get to the podium, hopefully. I haven't had the best of days, but obviously we can improve it now.
Okay, good luck. We'll let you focus. Just a few minutes to go. Well, that's the news from some of the contenders in this DRS125 grid. The Grand Prix is up next. So here we go. Last couple of moments before engines are fired. The starting grid for the DRS125 Grand Prix here at Wilton Mill. Pole position. Driving kart number 1, Sam Faulkner. Patrick Lay will start alongside him on the outside of row number 1. Row 2, Daniel Walden and the returning Harry Barlow. Row 3, Paul Ozan and Matthew Pearce. Row 4, Ty Stansfield and Ben Hitch. Rounding out the top 10, it is Morgan Cole and George Friday. James Lay and Zach Parkinson start on row number 6. Mark Lawrence and Will Checkley on row number 7. Elliot Stanley and Richard Evans on row 8. And then on row 9, Corey Elaine, all the way from Ireland, and Carl Watt. Row 10 will be Oliver Mouge and Dave Burns. Row 11, Thomas Massarella starts 22nd. David Darling starts 21st. Thomas Massarella has yet to finish a race today. Well, Thomas, look at the bright side. You've had a pants day. The kart's been off the track more than it's on it, but your tyres are in much better nick than everybody else's. So here we go. Into the first of what will be 2 rolling laps. With Sam Faulkner with the red and white Birrell ART race suits. ...22 drivers, 12 minutes of action. Sam Faulkner referenced Richard Evans in kart number 2, who's had a bad day so far. He's starting outside the top 10. Sam said, don't worry, he'll be along in a minute. He's expecting Richard to be up near the front before the end of the course. Wins so far this season. Well, Sam Faulkner took the win in the first 2 rounds. Got a penalty at Shannington in the final. Richard Evans took the win, so Evans had to miss Glenagorse, other commitments, but he's finished 2nd in the opening final of the year. Then won at Shannington. He's actually 4th in the points, but he can't drop around because he's missed one already. Paul Ozan, 3rd in the championship. He's had a 9th, a 4th and a 3rd in the finals. Here we go then. For the final time at Wilton Mill. DRS125 into the tram lines. Lights are out, we're off and racing. Faulkner and Daniel Walden cut across the front of number 175 kart. Patrick Lay there going into oblivion to take 1st and 2nd. Harry Barlow in 4th. They're all lining up going to Christmas Corner. They're all going to get round cleanly. It looks that way. It's Faulkner, Walden and Patrick Lay in the top 3. Barlow in 4th. Ozan in 5th. Somebody runs wide. Oh, there's the number 298. That's Carl Watt. Launching one of the cones that adorn the exterior of the circuit into heaven. Hopefully Watt's kart is still okay. Here's Faulkner now. Out of the boot to complete lap number 1. Walden hot on his heels. Patrick Lay 3rd. Barlow 4th. Ozan 5th. Pearce 6th. Then Ben Hitch, Ty Stansfield slips back to 8th, Parkinson 9th, George Friday 10th, then it's Morgan Cole in 11th, Richard Evans is 12th at the moment, then it's Will Checkley, Matthew Lawrence, Massarella's up to 15th already, from 22nd to 15th for Thomas Massarella in kart number 8. Elliot Stanley, Dave Burns, Corey Elaine with a warning flag, Oliver Mouge and James Lay drops all the way back to 20th, so a problem for James Lay, possibly an incident involving Carl Watt on that opening lap has put James Lay, brother James, back into 20th, but brother Patrick is in P3 at the moment. Make that P4 because Harry Barlow has gone past in kart number 5. And everybody, though, chasing that number 1 plate kart yet again. Leading the chase is number 7, Daniel Walden. How much longer, though, I don't know. Here comes Barlow. Barlow to the inside, picks up P2. Now, 10 minutes to go. Faulkner, who said himself he's just had a decent run of results. Kart's not feeling that great, didn't learn much from testing. Oh, and Two drivers close together. That looks like Evans in the number 2. That's the 208. Or was that the 302? We'll have to get a number check on that. There was some scuff marks on the side of the car. Couldn't see. That could be Richard Evans. We'll have a check next time around. Lap 3 in the books. It was Evans in 11th. A little bit further back, I think it was Dave Burns. Oh, and hands in the air. There's carts in the middle of the track. Ah, yes, that's where the carts were. They can see yellow flags being waved, the drivers all. That's a classic karters way of acknowledging yellow flags. Yes, we'll put our hand in the air to say we've seen the yellow flags. We won't slow down a bit, but we put our hands in the air so we know the yellow flag is there. There's a move. Brother Patrick up the inside of Danny Walden for 3rd. Patrick Lay moves into P3. Oh, and there's somebody having an issue in the middle of the pack there. Carts going either side as positions changing. Now, Patrick Lay, 3rd. You can see Faulkner and Barlow have gone. Sam Faulkner's lead is still 0.8 of a second. You can see them flashing through the screen. There they go into Ashby's. And now here's the freight train. Patrick Lay, Danny Walden, Matthew Pearce in cart number 4 is there. So is Paul Ozan. Ben Hitch in the number 9. Then Zach Parkinson in the 301. Ty Stansfield, George Friday, Morgan Cole is 11th in cart 302. Then it's Richard Evans in 12th. Thomas Massarella's up to 13th from 22nd. There's a move. That's Matthew Pearce moving past Daniel Walden into 4th place. So Walden obviously hasn't got the pace in the final. 8 minutes to go. But Walden is slowly slipping backwards out of contention. Paul Ozan in cart number 277 is next along. Here's Ty Stansfield. Zach Parkinson in the 301, just behind the number 6 of Stansfield now. There's Richard Evans. Here's the number 9 cart of Ben Hitch, leading Parkinson. Then, Ozan's gone off. Ozan and Walden. Well, I'm not the world's greatest mathematician, but 2 + 2 equals Daniel Walden and Paul Ozan battling for position and then both going off. And that's a penalty already for Paul Ozan. So they've given him a penalty. That'll be a place penalty. So Walden down to, or they'll be back down towards the back of the pack. And Thomas Massarella is now in the top 10. So there he is, the back of this group. Number 8, blue race suit. Thomas Massarella is utilising the fact he's got better tyres than everyone else. He's got better tyres because he hasn't finished any of his heat races. Not through lack of trying, he's wanted to finish them, but just other things have happened. But now Massarella has got to be careful that he doesn't blot his copybook. He's having a little look at the inside of George Friday. There is Zach Parkinson making a move. Morgan Cole gets a warning for contact. There's the move from Richard Evans in cart number 2. So Evans passes Ben Hitch. I think that was with that Ty Stansfield to move into the top 7. Faulkner leads by 9/10 of a second from Barlow. Lay is 3rd. Brother Patrick still 3rd. Matthew Pearce has had a very quiet race, but has moved past this carnage, or this chaos, into 4th place. And it's Parkinson now 5th in the 301, and he has got the snarling pack right behind him. Hitch, Evans and Stansfield. Then a gap back to George Friday in 9th, and Thomas Massarella in 10th. Elliot Stanley runs 11th, and it's Will Checkley 12th. Morgan Cole has faded back to 13th. Paul Ozan with a penalty is 14th. Then it's Matthew Lawrence in 15th. Mouge is 16th. Walden down to 17th. Darling is 18th. Carl Watt 19th. James Lay rounds out the top 20. Oh, and Zach Parkinson's, that looks like a bit of a wobbly NASA panel. So something has obviously been cut adrift there. And you can see the NASA panel on that 301 cart just sort of wobbling about in the breeze. Every time he hits a curb, it wobbles a bit more. Let's hope it doesn't wobble off, because that would be a mechanical flag. Now Richard Evans sets up. Oh, and that was a bit of a gentleman move. Sets up Ben Hitch. So Hitch kind of sees that Evans is quicker than him. He realises, smart driving, that Ben Hitch thinks I've got a better chance of gaining places is if I let you pass and follow you through. So you make the holes, and you open the door and I'll walk through it. How does that sound? Evans goes, yeah, that's right to me, chum. Let's have a little go at this guy. That's Parkinson with the number 301, running in 5th place. Richard Evans sizing up Zach Parkinson for a move. No change in front of them. It's quite spaced out now amongst the top 4. Faulkner 1.9 seconds in front of Barlow. Barlow is only a couple of tenths now in front of Patrick Lay, who sets a new fast lap. 46.2 for Patrick Lay. And there's the move. Evans passes Parkinson for 5th. Matthew Pearce going across the screen. He's in 4th place. Evans now 5th. Still a big gaggle behind him. Harry Barlow under pressure from Patrick Lay. Patrick Lay to the inside. Brother Patrick makes the move. Into P2 goes Patrick Lay at the expense of Harry Barlow. They're 2.3 seconds behind Sam Faulkner. Well, Sam Faulkner, the race was won for Sam on the first corner when he made it through cleanly. From that point on, we've still got 3 minutes to go. A lot can happen, but if anything does happen, it'll be a mechanical failure or a driver failure for Sam Faulkner, because he has got this one comfortably in the bag at the moment. Faulkner, Lay, Barlow, Pearce, Evans, then Parkinson, then the number 9 of Ben Hitch in 7th. Looking at him on your screens now. He's chasing down Zach Parkinson. Ty Stansfield runs in 8th. George Friday is 9th, though that's actually now Thomas Massarella into 9th place. So, from 22nd to 9th now for Massarella. And he's still got 2.5 minutes to go. He's just behind this. Oh, there's a Ben Hitch looking to the inside of Parkinson. Ben Hitch at the inside of the run into Christmas corner, makes the move. Parkinson stops back in line, because here comes the 6th of Stansfield and the 8th of Massarella. Behind Massarella is George Friday. Elliot Stanley in cart number 279. Well, what's going on with the NASA panels? Stanley has got his NASA panel hanging off in the number 279. Oh, there's a problem down. Stansfield and Massarella come together. Well, I think Stansfield was having his own accident there. Massarella, well, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Thomas Massarella, all that hard work, part of it has come undone, because he's back down to 14th now. And suddenly the battle for 6th, it was a 4 or 5 kart battle, it's now a straight fight between Hitch and Zach Parkinson. Oh, and there's somebody going off there at the top of the hill. That was Morgan Cole going off. And that kart doesn't look like it wants to turn the corner. I have a feeling that somebody else has gone off as well, and that Morgan Cole was possibly the victim there. Oh, and it was Massarella. And Massarella's gone off, and I think, judging by out of the corner of the screen, I caught a kart travelling very, very quickly going into the braking zone. I wonder if Massarella lost his brakes. Yellow flags waving. Well, Thomas Massarella. There's a phrase, sometimes, some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. And today, Massarella was the bug, because that is a clean sweep. 4 races, 4 DNFs. But Massarella had gone from 22nd to 8th before that happened. There is a yellow flag waving on the run to Christmas corner. 30 seconds to go. Faulkner's lead, 3 seconds over Patrick Lay. Harry Barlow is half a second behind Lay in 3rd place. And then Pearce 4th, Evans 5th, Hitch 6th, Parkinson 7th, George Friday up into 8th, 9th for Elliot Stanley, and 10th is Will Checkley. And it's all calmed down a bit. Stansfield 11th, Ozan 12th, but he's got a penalty coming. 13th for Mouge, 14th for Lawrence. Walden is down in 15th place. Then it's David Darling, Carl Watt, James Lay, David Burns, and they're the only runners. Morgan Cole and Thomas Massarella having a chat there. Look fairly good-natured, which tells me that there may have been a mechanical issue with Massarella's kart that sent him into Morgan Cole. Last lap board, Sam Faulkner, textbook race so far for the defending champion. He goes through Christmas Corner for the final time, around Inkermans, down towards Ashby's. Blue flags waving because Dave Burns in the number 197 kart is just in front of us. So Burns, don't think Faulkner was actually going to catch him, so he hasn't got to worry. Oh, but Burns sensibly pulls over. Good driving there from Dave Burns just to get out of the way. And Sam Faulkner lights the flag. The defending and reigning champion increases his championship lead here at Wilton Mill as we reach the midway point of the 2019 season. Patrick Lay takes second, Harry Barlow third, Matthew Pierce fourth, fifth on the final lap with the fastest lap of the race, Richard Evans, then Ben Hitch, Zach Parkinson, George Friday, Elliot Stanley, and the top 10 rounded out by Will Checkley. Ty Stansfield is 11th, Paul Ozan is 12th, Oliver Moose 13th, and Mark Lawrence finishes in 14th position. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for the racing here at Wilton Mill today. But for those watching the live stream, number one, thank you very much for joining us. Number two, don't go away, because the podium presentation will be up shortly, and that will be also live streamed. There is your top 10 in the DRS125 Grand Prix here at round 4 of the 2019 Daniel Ricciardo Series Championship at Wilton Mill. We'll be back shortly for the podium.